All right. Hello, everyone. We are live now. I hope everyone is doing good. So we have just started it. Maybe we'll give a couple of seconds for everyone else to join, and then we can start it. So meanwhile, if you have joined already, so you can let us know in the comment section below, like from where are you joining, and yeah, we can start with the question and answers later on, but let's get this started first. Let's get this warmed up, the session warmed up. And if you are joining from Twitter, because we are live streaming on Twitter as well, if you are joining from there, then also let us know so that I would know that it's working fine on Twitter as well, because I seems like there are some broadcasting issues on Twitter at the moment. But let me know if you have joined from there. Hello, Shekhar. Hello, Neeraj. Hello, Yusuf. I hope you guys are doing good. So we have few people joined already. Hello, Meghna. Hi, hi. Okay. Yeah, there are like looks like there are some issues with the Twitter live stream. Okay. So hello, Lakshmi. Hello, Kosi, Hamad. Hello, Sridhar. How are you? Good to hear from you after a long time. Hello, Yash. Okay, let me see. Just give me a second. Okay, so while everyone is joining, why don't we start with from where are you joining from? Maybe your city, your country, and yeah, that's all about it. Hello, Komal. Hello, Pavan. Yeah, we see a couple of folks have joined already, so I guess we can start the today's session. So, hello, Sridhar. Due to hectic work, yeah, I understand that. That's okay. That's good to hear from you. Um, we have people joined from Pune, Bangalore, Hyderabad, also from all over India. Seems like. So thank you everyone for joining. And from Nigeria, okay. Hello, Hamad. And we have from Rajasthan. Hello, Komal. Okay. Okay. So you can ask your question. Hello, Pavan. Okay, from someone joining from local. Hello, Pavan from Canada. So I guess we can start the session from from the CKA series. So I'll just walk you through the progress that we have made so far in the CKA series. So let me share my screen. Okay, just give me a second. So yeah, you can ask your question if you have any doubts till now in the CK series, Kubernetes, or anything in general. But this session I started specifically for the CKA series. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, so let me walk you through the progress. I will also be sharing my StreamYard link so that if you want to join me in this live stream face to face, you can do that. But before that, let me share my screen and show you the current progress that we have made so far with the CK series specifically. So share screen, window over here. Da, 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 da. Okay, I guess this should be the one. Okay, so I'm just gonna move this to a different tab. Okay, just give me a second. Let me just do some adjustments. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible now. Okay, so here we are. I'm just gonna open my CKA repository. So we have got 164 stars till now, and it's been just, I guess, 3 weeks or a month that we have started. Yeah, it's been a month since we started the series. So thank you for showing all the love and support. But if you have not checked out the repository, yes, feel free to do that. It has some amazing resources and everything that we are using as part of the CK series. All right. So we started with the first one, which is a Docker fundamentals. Okay, let me just zoom in a little bit. Okay, so we started with this Docker fundamentals because I want every prerequisite to be covered as part of this CK series. And Linux is still a prerequisite. I tried my best to explain each and every command that I'm running on the CLI. It just sometimes it skips my mind. So I would suggest, if you are starting with this CK series, please get some understanding of Linux administration, some Unix commands, and so on, so that you won't feel like it's going over the board. Okay, so we started with this Docker fundamentals, what it is, different between Docker containers, virtual machines, architecture, flow, and everything. Then we started with Dockerizing a sample application. We also wrote Docker multi-stage builds, and then we did a quick overview of why do we need Kubernetes. Then we did the deep dive into Kubernetes architecture, right? And control plane worker nodes and so on. Then we also did installation of Kubernetes locally as part of the kind cluster installation. And then we looked into pods in Kubernetes because it is the smallest deployable unit. So we looked into that. Replica sets, deployments in Kubernetes, replication controller, everything. And these all were demos. So I started the video with explaining the concept and followed by a demo. So that's what we did. Then services, namespaces, multi-container pods, daemon sets, cron job, static pods, taints and toleration. So these concepts that we are starting from here onwards, these are kind of the buzzword. These are the things that makes people overwhelmed if you are someone who is new to Kubernetes. When I was new to Kubernetes, I started learning these concepts. I was overwhelmed and I thought Kubernetes is a hell lot difficult to understand and implement. But as you start working with it, as you start getting the concept from the lower level, then it these all concepts seems easy. So I have tried my best to explain these concepts in the simplest possible language so that any beginner can also understand. Okay, so this is what we did. Taints and toleration, node affinity, another important concepts, request, resource request and limits, auto scaling, props, readiness, liveness props, config map, secret environment variables, and then how SSL TLS works. So this is not from Kubernetes perspective, but from overall the concept of SSL TLS in general. Like, I've tried my best to explain it in detail from the beginner level in the simplest possible language. I hope you will find this valuable. So even though if you are not following CK series, just go and watch this video, day 20 video. You will find it really helpful. Okay, and then from the next week onwards, from Monday onwards, I guess from tomorrow onwards, we'll be starting with TLS in Kubernetes. So I have already uploaded this video, and rest I'm yet to upload. So I'll be uploading next 3 videos today. So authorization, which contains authorization, authentication, authorization types, RBACs, ABACs, node, webhook, config, kubeconfig, and so on. And then role-based access control, and till here, okay, cluster role and cluster role binding. So that's what we'll be completing this week. So I'm gonna start taking questions now. So let me know if you have any doubts till here, till now, what we have covered so far, and we can go from there. Okay. So I'm gonna go back to my regional window. Okay. Okay, I also have one important update, but before that, I have a guest who would like to join. So we have Devarshi with us today. Hello, Devarshi. How are you? Yeah, first fix your camera, man. What are you doing? Okay. How are you, Devarshi?
Hi, doing great. Yeah, how about you?
Great, great. Thanks for joining the stream. So, guys, if you if you are aware of the CloudOps community, if you are actively participating in the Discord server, communication and everything else, so Devarshi has been one of the strongest pillar of that CloudOps community among other members. So what we did, actually what Devarshi did recently, he redesigned the entire website. So we have a website if you don't know. So it's called, let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, so we have a website and it's called the cloudopscommunity.org. So he redesigned everything from scratch, and now we have a working website. So is it visible, Devashi? My
Yep,
screen is visible, right? Okay.
yep, visible.
Yeah, so this is our website. There are not a lot of things at this moment currently, but if you are someone who's new here who wants to know how to join the Discord server or community, so this is what you need to click on: join us, and it will redirect you to our Discord server. Then it has some details. It's still work in progress, but he tried to add a lot of things for now. And then in the courses section, yes, there are all, everything is free, don't worry about it. So these are all the playlists, that all the important playlists that we have. Yes, I do have a lot of other playlists as well, but these are for the beginners perspective. These are for something that you should be looking into. So AZ900, if someone is new to Azure, if someone wants to gain the practical knowledge of hands-on projects, so this is what they should be following: 10 weeks of cloud ops. Then we have entire series for Azure DevOps course, which is recently started gaining a lot of attention. So you should look into that. And we have entire series for GCP, specifically for Associate Cloud Engineer certification. So there it is. And this is ongoing series for CKA, what we are discussing today. So yeah, we still have a lot of things to add into that. But kudos to Devarshi for doing such a great job in building up this website from scratch and for a short period of time. So thank you for doing this, and I'm sure everyone will be finding it very valuable. Okay,
Well,
so
always been an honor working
yeah,
on it. A great being part of the community.
great, great. Anything else you would like to share, Devashi, before we start taking questions?
I think that's it. I think there's way more planned for the website as you and everyone part of, or anyone else is building something or new event or maybe a new course. Maybe you have something planned after CK. We might
Mhm.
have more and more events in the Cloud Ops community. So
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
make sure to
definitely,
join that.
definitely, yes.
Uh, and yeah, that's been a great honor building it.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Devashi. It's been our pleasure. So yeah, that's it. I guess we can start taking question. Would you like to stay on the stream, or if you want, you can leave the
I
stream?
think I'll drop off and
Okay,
watch from YouTube itself.
okay, sounds good. Thank you, Devashi, once again.
Yeah,
Thanks.
always.
Okay, bye bye. All right. So let's start taking some questions. Hello, Kosi from Gabon. Shekhar from Bidar, Karnataka. Neeraj from Pune. Hello, Srini from Chennai. Hello, Komal. Okay, let's start with the questions now. So Komal, sorry. I have been misanouncing this name. So I'm really sorry. So it's not Komal, it's Kamal. So Kamal is asking, do certification helps in resume selection? Kamal, it does to some extent, but you don't always depends on resumes, and you don't always work on your resumes, right? If you sorry, you were asking about certification, not for resume. Yes, so certification helps you if you don't have a lot of experience, like if you are a professional if you are a working professional, if you have some experience, then certification don't matter a lot. But it matters when, let's say, you are trying to move from uh, some other role into cloud or DevOps, then it matters. When you are a student, a fresh graduate who wants to enter into cloud or DevOps, then it matters, right? And if you don't have a lot of projects in your resume, good projects that helps you showcase your skills, then also it matters, right? So it depends on your situation right now. It depends on what you are trying to achieve, what's your skill sets, what's your social media visibility. And when I say social media visibility, that means your LinkedIn, if you have a blogging platform, if you have open source contribution, if you have a good GitHub profile that had a lot of visibility, then possibly you don't need certifications to get your resume selected. But otherwise, it helps a lot. So 5 6 years back, when I was transitioning into cloud and DevOps, it helped me, right? AWS certified solution architect was the first certification that I did, and it really helped me getting my resume selected. After that, once the resume is selected, after that it totally depends on your skills. It totally depends on how well you are presenting yourself in the interview. Then your certification won't matter. So it's not like that they're gonna ask, okay, you have done this certification, okay, you have cleared the round. No, it doesn't happen like that. Okay, so focus more on your on building your skill set, on upskilling yourself, adding some good portfolio projects to your profile, and try to show that publicly. So this we were discussing a couple of days back as well. So when you are someone who's trying to get a job, okay, so let's say you are applying for 50 jobs in a week, or 100 jobs in a week, like just for an example, right? So the you are only reaching 50 companies, right? I mean, it's a lot, definitely. But if you think about the scale, if you think about the acceptance to rejection ratio, it's not a lot. So the impact that you are creating, the reach that you are creating for yourself, is limited to only those companies. But let's say when you are doing something else, when you are learning in public, when you have a good visibility on your GitHub profile, or your blogging platform, or your LinkedIn profile, Twitter profile, and so on, then you are reaching a lot more companies without even applying for it. Your profile gets attention. Your profiles is your like recruiters and hiring managers keeping an eye on your profile, and they many a times try to reach out to you by themselves without you even applying for any role, or without you even looking for that role. So it does happen a lot of time. It depends like how you want to proceed further with this. But I hope I was able to answer your question about the certifications. Okay, so we have Kwajo. Hello, Piyush. I am from Thailand. Thanks for your great CK course. I got a lot of concepts and knowledge. Thank you, Kwajo. Thank you so much for your support so far, and thank you so much for the wonderful words. I'm glad it is helpful. Okay. So, Hamid, for someone that could not afford the CK exam, what practice would you advise to get notice and be known as a professional Kubernetes administrator? So, Ahmad, what I would say, for practice, for the starters, you can go through our GitHub repository for CK that I just shown. In that, there is a folder called resources, and every little video has a task.md file. In that task.md file is all the practice tests that you can do the practice on your own. Then we have some good platform that is available free of course. There is Killer Coda, I guess. Killer.sh is paid, but Killer Coda, or okay, I'm forgetting the name. Let me try to, yes, Killer Coda is the platform that you can utilize free of cost. So it has labs, it has hands-on scenarios that you can practice without even uh, you know installing everything on your own. So this is what I would suggest. Let me paste the link over here in the comment. So it's killercoda.com. Try to look into that, and I'm sure it will be helpful. And other than that, try to solve the problems. So what do you mean by a professional Kubernetes administrator, or um, how do you get yourself being noticed? Is what you do to solve a problem, or what problem you are solving. So let's say you have created something, you have created a tool, a blog, a tutorial, something that is helping someone. Okay, something that is unique. It's not like some information that is available already in the simplest possible language, and something um, that is no brainer for anyone to understand, right? Not like that. So anything that is that adds some values to the user, to the reader, to the viewer, anything that has an impact. Okay, so try to solve those problems. Like, let's say these days people are facing issues getting into cloud and DevOps. Okay, or like into Kubernetes. So what you can do, you can maybe build a customized lab, okay, that has some issues, and you provide access to that lab to the users, so that they could log in and solve those problems and do the hands on, do the practice, or provide them step by step instructions. How can they set up their own lab environment with different use cases, and how they can practice all of these by themselves. And these could be again a set of instructions written in your GitHub repository, or your remote repository, your blog, social media, anything, right? So try to do that, and I'm sure it will be helpful. Hello Guru, how are you? Okay. Is Shekhar is asking, hello, is this available later? Just busy right now. Yes, Shekhar, definitely. So this is not something that we do live. So these are the recorded sessions. I publish 4 videos every week on my YouTube channel from Monday to Thursday, so that you get some time over the weekend to go through the concepts, or whatever is pending, whatever you could do throughout the week. So you can still get 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 as per the course curriculum that's been going on, but you can start later on as well. It doesn't matter. It's your choice. Whenever you feel is the right time to learn anything new, you can definitely do that, and all the recording will be available on my YouTube channels. Don't worry about it. So Shekhar is we could get chapters in chat section. Sorry, I didn't understand your question. Shekhar, can you please elaborate? Okay. I guess Guru is asking about the font. So I increased it already. Thank you. Thank you, Guru. And thank you, Devashi, once again. So, what about AI ops? What's the roadmap? No, I cannot provide anything, any roadmap of anything that I have not worked with, or something that I don't have a lot of hands on experience. You know, I that is why I don't talk much on the topics that I never worked before. So for example, I only worked with roles like production support, cloud, DevOps, and so on. So that's what I focus mostly on. But if you want to work on AI ops, I would say instead of going to YouTube or going to um, some XYZ person, you can directly go out to different platforms, like we have, I guess, Andrew Nigel has a course for AI and machine learning, so check it out. And and try to understand what is the concept, what you need to learn. But one thing is sure, you don't need to learn AI mathematics and so on, because AI ops is nothing but implementing AI with the help of CI/CD pipelines. Same way it works with ML ops. ML ops is deploying and managing your machine learning models with the help of CI/CD tools. Automate that workflow of model evaluation, um, model storage, model weight storage over some cloud storage repository, and model fine tuning, model deployment, and so on. So it's just an extension of DevOps, or the part of DevOps that only focus on AI models and so on, right? But I would suggest go to Andrew Nigel's course. I guess there is a free course available, Andrew Nigel. You can search that, and you will find it helpful. Okay, yes, you can use, like I've said before, you can use killercoda.com. This is a free platform that you can use to practice and do the hands on. Okay, Ujjwal has a question. I'm so overwhelmed with all these. How can I practice so that I feel more productive? So, Ujjwal, yes, it takes it takes a lot of practice to achieve something, and it is normal to be overwhelmed, because Kubernetes is just not a small concept. It's not something that you can do in a day or two or in a week. It takes time to just understand the fundamentals of it. Someone asked me if, by following this series 40 days of Kubernetes that we have someone asked me if just by following this series, would I be a master of Kubernetes at the end of this series? And I said no. This series is specifically designed keeping in mind the fundamentals of Kubernetes. It was designed keeping in mind the course curriculum of CKA certification and the important concepts that you should need to know and you should practice as a Kubernetes administrator, as someone who is a beginner to intermediate level in Kubernetes. It's not the mastery level, it's not the advanced level, and you cannot do the advanced or mastery level in just 40 days or just 40 videos, right? So it takes time, it takes a lot of efforts, it takes a lot of practice. So I have been working with Kubernetes for past 4 5 years, but I still don't consider myself as a master. I am actually not even at the very advanced level. So I'm somewhere between intermediate to advanced level, because there is too much to learn in Kubernetes. There is so much to learn and implement with the all the new third party tools coming in the market that actually helps Kubernetes. For example, we have Helm, we have Argo CD for auto scaling, event based auto scaling. We had Kira, we have Customize, and every day there'll be a new tool that is coming in the market that helps makes your Kubernetes workflow simplify or easier, and that tool then becomes a necessity for you to learn and implement, right? So there always will be something new to learn. There'll be always something for which using which you can still feel overwhelmed, but it is okay. It is okay to feel overwhelmed. Just make sure that you don't overburden yourself. Just make sure that you don't um, over stress with all the learnings. Try to make this a habit. Try to make learning a journey. Try to make it fun, so that you can enjoy while learning it. And once you start enjoying it, then it will become easier for you to understand and to go through that concept. For example, I created a routine for myself. Like, I wake up every day at 5 a.m. to record at least 2 videos. That's what I have been doing for past 1.5 months, right? And if not the videos, but I still wake up, and I have created a routine for myself. So I have set a process for myself, right? And now I am just sticking to that process without a goal or without an outcome in my mind. No, I don't want to get 100K subscriber. That's not my goal. Yes, if it will happen eventually, I'll be more than happy, but that's not my goal. My goal is to complete the series. My goal is to provide CKA learning in the 40 days curriculum that I have set, right? And after that, I'm going to start a new series. So that's a process that I have set for myself, and I'm just enjoying the process. So that's what I would suggest. If you have started learning something, if you are practicing something, it is okay to feel overwhelmed, but try to make this a habit. Try to make this fun, engaging. If you are feeling like you're not able to stick to the routine, so in the Discord server I have created some study groups. So get in touch with any of the community member who is also feeling the same, and try to make a schedule and try to stick to that schedule. You can do learning online while be on the call, and you can discuss your issues with each other. So try to take help from the community if you are facing that issues. Okay. Let's take the next one. Can you teach GitHub Actions? It requires it. It's a request. I will see all these CI/CD tools. Okay, there will be always something that will come in the market, and it will be an advanced version of the previous tool that was there in the market, and it will become a necessity to for you to learn that tool. That is good, but try to not focus much on tools. Try to focus on the fundamentals, right? So for example, I created the series for Jenkins for beginners like 1.5 years back or 2 years back somewhere. It was from the beginner's point of view. It was for someone who is trying to get into DevOps and trying to implement CI/CD with the help of a tool. So that's what they should start with. Then I started a series for Azure DevOps, right? And Azure DevOps, GitHub Action, or Bitbucket CI/CD pipelines, they GitLab CI/CD even, they all are the YAML based pipelines. So all the syntax, all the structure would be the same. It just you have to understand the specifics of what stages are there, what is the overall structure of it. Okay, the syntax will be same. You just have to focus on structure. Plus, the fundamentals will be same. Stages will be the same stages that you were using in Azure DevOps. You can still use that in GitHub Actions. You need to understand what is the flow of a CI/CD pipeline. Like, you check out the code, you build the code, you run some security scanning, you do some testing, then you package the code, you upload the code to Artifactory registry, then you download the code in an environment and execute the code, deploy it, run some post deployment sanity checks or some testing, and so on. Like, there could be other steps as well, but that flow will remain the same irrespective of the tool that you are using. So I would say focus on one tool, understand one tool in depth. I already have the Azure DevOps series. If you have not checked it yet, checked it out. And once you complete everything with that, then you can easily learn any new tool such as GitHub Actions or GitLab CI/CD. It doesn't matter. The answer to if I can teach you GitHub Actions, so the way I create the playlist on my channel, the way I plan my content is whenever I'm gonna start a new series, I ask my subscribers and viewers which series they want me to work on next. For example, before starting the CK series, I did the poll. I gave few options: CK or GCP for beginners, GCP real time projects, and then there was a couple of more. And CK series got the most number of votes. That's why I started this series, because I don't just want to publish something that I like. I want something I want to publish something that people are requesting, that people wants to work on. For example, you requested GitHub Action. Yes, if there are a number of people that's gonna request the same, I will definitely create a series on that. So I will do a poll after this series, and then based on the results that we get, I will start working on the next series. Okay. I was sharing my um, updates on LinkedIn, but planning to share it only on Medium. Is it a good idea? So, Ujwal, sharing just your updates on LinkedIn wouldn't help a lot if you are not creating a blog out of it, if you are not publishing a GitHub repository using that. Because, when let's say you did something, let's say, for example, you deployed an application on 3-tier architecture on any cloud or on premises Kubernetes server, and then just you wrote a short note of it on your LinkedIn post. Okay, so you will get some visibility, and after few days that post will be gone. It will be buried deep down, and you will have no artifact to prove that you have already implemented the project. But if you had created a blog, okay, sorry, I okay, but if you had created a blog out of it, that blog will be there forever. You can attach that blog link in your resume, and it will be searchable over Google search. It will be ranked, right? And you can show in your interview, you can show in your resume that yes, you have implemented. So that will serve as an artifact for you for your interviews. So that's what I would suggest. Okay, so create the blog, or if not the blog, create the GitHub repository with all the source code, all the steps, architectural diagrams, and everything. uh, Create it well structured in the markdown format, and then share that repository as part of your learning in the LinkedIn post, right? So you have to do a mix of both. Okay. Teach GitHub Actions, GitOps with Argo CD. Okay, so GitHub Actions, for that I have already answered that question. For GitOps and Argo CD, check that out. Check out the 10 weeks of CloudOps playlist that I have. In that, project number 4 was about GitOps and Argo CD, right? So you can have a look at that. And it's an end-to-end project. It uses Terraform. It uses a 3-tier architecture. It uses GitOps, Argo CD. It uses, I guess, Circle CI as the CI tool. It has a lot of use cases that you can use, you can implement, you can add in your resume and create a blog out of it. So check it out. It will be helpful. What are the most beneficial tools that are required for DevSecOps? Again, it doesn't matter like how many tools you are learning, there'll be always something left to learn, right? For example, if you have worked in, let's say, SonarCube as the tool for static code analysis, the company that you are giving interview for, that company might be working on some other tool. I guess there is a tool called Black Duck, right? I guess it is for vulnerability checking, but there would be other tools for static code analysis that other companies will be using it. So you cannot learn all the tools that are there available, right? So what I would suggest, get your proficiency in one tool per Kashvi. Kashvi. Papa, I don't remember beta. Sorry. Okay. All right. So what I was saying, um get your proficiency in one tool per domain. For example, one tool for static code analysis, one tool for container image scanning, one tool for code vulnerability checks, and so on, right? And when it comes to the interview, and if let's say they are asking some other tool, so you can simply say like, I have not worked on this tool, but I have worked on the similar tool which does the same thing, and I can try to explain your question with respect to that tool. So that will be helpful, and it works in the same case for other CI CD tools as well. Kashvi, go. I'm really sorry. That is why I don't do a lot of work during the weekend, even if I am at home, because my daughter wants my full attention, and I don't blame her. It just um yeah, okay. Anyways, so yes, so I was saying it works the same way for CI/CD tools as well. Let's say if I'm working with Jenkins or if I'm working with Azure DevOps, and the company that I am giving interview for is is working on, let's say, GitHub Actions. So you can simply explain them like you have not worked with GitHub Action, but it is just a CI/CD tool that enables continuous integration, deployment, and delivery, similar to what Azure DevOps or Jenkins provides. And I have worked on those tools. So here is my answer with respect to those tools. So that's what I would say. So instead of focusing on tools for DevSecOps, focus on the stages that DevSecOps pipeline has. Focus on the roles and responsibilities that DevSecOps has, right? And then you'll be good. Sai, Bitbucket pipeline, Team City pipeline still worth learning in 2024? It depends, like totally. Like I have already mentioned, what you can do when it comes to learning a new tool. But I would say if you are learning a new CI/CD tool, go with either Azure DevOps or GitLab CI/CD. That's my personal preference, and that's what I would suggest, right? But it's totally up to you. And Bitbucket Pipeline is another YAML based CI/CD tool, so it works the same way. I have 2.5 years of experience with DevOps, how to do corporate level case project that can be explained in interview, as I'm in service based company where there is no use of EKSK, it's in a systematic way. Okay, Devesh. So what I would suggest is every company, like most of the companies, have their open source tools, right? Even Kubernetes is an open source platform, so they do their releases every 3 4 months. So that's, but that would be a too complex tool for you to learn and go through that. So I would say start with something that is already there as an open source project. Try to use that. So I have created a lot of videos about it, but let me share a few of the repositories that you can do to practice and everything. So I'm gonna go over here. um, okay, so there is a project called, okay, okay, let me search. There is a project called e-commerce Kubernetes example. I guess it was a project for, I guess there is this project by Google Cloud. Okay, it's a microservice based e-commerce platform. Okay, and then there is a project by Google Cloud again. It's called Bank of Anthos. So this is again a project for microservice based project which has around 10 11 microservices and a fully functioning net banking application. These are all the services that it has: a front end, backends, and then it has databases written in all different languages. So you can check this as well, Bank of Anthos. And then there is a platform, it's called there is a project called what does it say? Mm, Online Boutique, I guess. Online Boutique, GitHub. Oh yeah, it's again by Google Cloud. So yeah, it's called Online Boutique. So you can, again, microservice based, with front ends, back end, and everything is ready to be deployed on Kubernetes. So you can check this out as well, and there'll be many more. So check out the GitHub repositories of Google Cloud Platform, Microsoft. They will have some amazing sample projects that you can use in your resume or to implement everything, right? There will be a few more, and I have always tried to use these projects to spread some awareness. So check out my GitHub playlist as well. In Azure DevOps series as well, I have used some of these projects. I guess I have used, there was Microsoft project, which is called, I'm forgetting the name. It's, I guess, eShop something. Yeah, eShop. Let me check. eShop by Microsoft. eShop on containers, and it was an old project. Then it was moved to a different repo. It's called eShop now, and it's a .NET based project with multiple microservices and so on. So I've used this as well. So yeah, so there are many other projects available out there. Try to use those, try to implement those, and you should be good. Okay. Killer.sh, how much time we can practice if we pay? I'm not really sure. I guess it's a monthly subscription based model with 10 15 $20 per month. It is costly, I would say. If you want, you can take it for 1 month and then stop the subscription, and that 1 month you can utilize it fully. Or you can go with Killer Coda, which is available free. Or you can do the local Kubernetes installation as per our series what we have done, and you can practice that as well. Is DSA required for Mang and Fan companies? So that's a really Um, that's a really subjective questions, and I don't think there is a right answer to that. So I would start with saying it depends on the role and your experience level. If you are a fresher, chances are you still have to go through DSA for most of these companies. If if you are applying for roles that requires DSA knowledge and somehow you will be using it. For example, if it's a SRE role, if it's a SD role, SUI role. So for those roles, yes, it is required. But for the roles that doesn't require, such as cloud support roles, technical account manager, cloud architect, solution architect, it it doesn't have a DSA role. But those roles mostly, if we leave cloud support and if we talk about solution architect, cloud architect, or technical account managers, these kind of roles requires you to have a lot of experience before even your resume gets selected for one of these roles, right? So those roles are not for freshers. But for DevOps related roles, DevOps, I'm not sure whether there is a DSA round or not, because Google does not have a DSA role. Google does not have a DevOps role. It has SRE. For SRE, there'll be a DSA round. Even if you are a fresher or a professional, you'll still have to go through it. But I'm yet to check for Amazon whether. Oh, no, I did interview with Amazon for DevOps roles, multiple DevOps role. I interviewed for DevOps consultant, DevOps tech lead, and so on, and there was no DSA round as per my knowledge, what I have gone through. But it could change. The things could change, and it depends on companies to company now. Okay, could you share learning tips you use? Okay, so what I do when I have to learn something, first I go through the documentation, okay, and try to understand the concept from a basic level. Okay, then I try to implement a simple project, a simple to do app, hello world app, that doesn't matter. Then I try to implement that using the concept that I've just learned. Then I try to scale it to a bigger and complex project, and I do the hands on with that. And then I see what best practices I can implement in that project, or what else I can do in that project to make it a production ready project, or something that someone would expect from a professional. For that, I read engineering blogs. Okay, so every website, every big tech company, Netflix, Google, Amazon, they have their own engineering blogs. They also publish a lot of white papers. So I read some white papers, I read some engineering blogs to get the best practices, and then I see what I can understand and what I can try to implement from those learnings in my project, right? And then I create videos out of it so that I can share my learnings with others. And when you learn anything by yourself, uh, chances are after sometimes you forget. Even if you do hands on, there are still some chances that you forget. But if you are teaching someone the same thing that you have just learned, chances are you will retain it for a longer time. So that also helps me, you know. I have a lot of documentation on how to do some implementation. GitHub is GitHub just okay? If not, what blog platform with be great options? So you can start with any blogging platform, doesn't matter. You can go with medium.com or hashnode or dev.to. But out of these, I guess medium.com has a lot of reach. It ranks well in Google search results. So this is something that I would suggest, Medium. Okay, welcome, Abuzar. Swan Sureshi, sir, I'm Monstack developer still in third year of the college. I am very much interested in DevOps. I want to learn AWS, CI/CD using AWS, and then later come back to advanced DevOps. Can you give me some roadmap? Okay. So what I would suggest, I have not created any videos on roadmaps because roadmaps are too generic for anyone to follow, right? I might create something and I would give some options, some customized path in the roadmap. But roadmap depends on person to person. Roadmap depends on if you are what your skill level is and what you already know, right? What your interests are. Based on that, it depends what you should be learning, right? For example, learning AWS is not just learning AWS. You need to understand which specialization that you want to go in that when it comes to advanced levels. You can start with the foundational knowledge, you can start with the fundamentals of AWS. Then you have to choose something called as a domain in that area. Like you can go to containers, you can go to DevOps part of it, you can go to data engineering, you can go to AI/ML, and so on. So there could be different specialities, or you can go with networking or security. So there could be certain speciality even if you pick one cloud. So without learning your interest, without learning um, your current skill set, I wouldn't be able to suggest. But if I want to give a generic roadmap, this is what I would suggest. Start with AWS foundational knowledge. Okay, so AWS certified cloud practitioner would be a good way to start, as you are still a college student and you don't have any knowledge with AWS. So that's what I would start with. Then um start oh no before that don't directly jump into the cloud. Start with Linux fundamentals, Linux concepts, Unix commands, Linux administration, and so on. Start with that. Then Git and GitHub. Then go with Docker. Then pick any CI/CD tool, or before that, pick a cloud. Gain some fundamentals knowledge. AWS certified cloud practitioner is what I said. Then go into CI/CD tools. Pick one tool. Start with Jenkins. You are still in college. Start with Jenkins, which is one of the best tools that is there for a beginner person. Okay, go with that. Then look into Terraform for infrastructure as a code, Ansible for configuration management, and then monitoring, alerting, logging using tools such as Prometheus, Grafana, Loki, ElkStack, and so on. Then there'll be Kubernetes, which is a big piece these days. Many companies are working on Kubernetes, so try with Kubernetes. And I guess that should be it. This is like a most generic roadmap that I could suggest based on your experience, based on your. But again, as I said, there'll be a few changes to it if I would have gotten more about your current skill set, your area of interest, and so on. But you can later figure that out by yourself, and this is what you can start with. Okay, no worries, Yusuf. Your playlist is awesome. Thank you so much. I'm glad you are finding it helpful. Me and friend, me and me and friend are following your CKA series. मेरे कुछ friends बहुत हैरान हुए जब मैंने आपकी chatting दिखाई. Like आपने मुझे reply किया LinkedIn. Thank you very much, sir. So that's what I try to do always, Abu Zar. Kashmir. Kashmir, let's go. Ah, yeah, it is difficult to do a live stream over a weekend. Okay, let me try to answer you. Hmm. So I always try my best to answer each and every question or each and every reply that I get over LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Discord. I try my best, but it is sometimes so overwhelming for me to reply to it. It takes me at least 2 to 3 hours every day to reply all of these messages. And it's not just reply, sometimes they have some issue that they are facing, and I have to help them fix that issue, right? So I try my best, um, but sometimes I just don't get enough time to do that. But you know, that's what I always try to, at least reply that I'm busy or I cannot help at this moment, or if you can be more specific about your question, I could help you faster. So that's what I do. So thank you for following the series and everything. Thanks. Okay, thank you, Sai. Hamid is asking, what advice can you give me about worrying about all the platforms, most especially all three majors? So for that, like, this is not like, you are not the first one who has this question. A lot of people has asked me, and I have published a video for that. So let me share it. If you go to YouTube and let me go to my channel. Okay, and if you go to videos, then search for the video which says which cloud. Okay, not okay. So here is the video. Okay, over here it says, if I need to choose a cloud in 2024, I do this. So in this video, I have shared every little detail about which cloud you should choose and why you should choose that cloud. So check out this video. I'm sure you will get your answer. I'm sure you will find this video helpful. Okay. Now, the next question is, do you teach, or any of your videos has any videos for Azure admin specifically for AZ 104? No, I have not created the series for that. But for AZ 900, for the Azure fundamental certification, I had the entire playlist. So check that out, and it covers most of the Azure admin concept, because I have tried to go in depth into AZ 900 as well. So check it out. I'm sure you will find it helpful. Okay, so what is the time? 12:08. So I have close to 15 more minutes before we conclude this session. So please try to ask your questions now if you have not done yet. So every company is asking for DevOps experience for almost 3 to 5 years, but I'm fresher. Should I change my career from DevOps to another? I don't like coding. Okay, so there are two parts of it. First is, companies are asking for experienced professionals and you are a fresher, so it is hard for you to get accepted. That's a totally valid point. But not all companies are doing that. Many companies hire fresher for DevOps, or they hire DevOps interns. So it just, the ratio of the company that is asking for professional to the ratio of the company that is asking for a fresher is very, there is a huge difference between that. So let's say you are a working professional with 3 to 5 years of experience, and if you are applying to 100 companies, chances are you might get reply from 20 of those. But if you are a fresher, you will be getting reply for 2 3 of those. But that's okay. I mean, you don't have to worry about it. There are still openings for DevOps as a fresher. I have personally seen many people who have joined DevOps as a fresher. So if you see any update on LinkedIn or any YouTube channel, try to connect with those individuals. Try to ask them what things have worked out from them. How did they approach their job search? How did they justify their experience with the DevOps role? And see, like, maybe some advices would help you. Don't listen to anyone who is not able to get the job as a DevOps engineer, because sometimes people just spread the demotivation. If they have not done it, they say DevOps is not for freshers. So don't go into that negative mindset. Try to be positive. Try to ask help for those who spread positivity, and you will find some wonderful advices. The other thing is, um, you have to keep trying. As I said, the ratio will be very low. So you won't get reply from many companies. Many of the companies will simply reject your profile, but still you don't have to worry about those 97 rejections. You only have to focus on one acceptance, right? That's all you need. You don't need multiple offers as a fresher. You need just one offer that could help you pay your bills, that could help you in getting your dream job or into your dream role that you are trying to do. Okay, and in the beginning, try not to be very selective of which company you want to go, because I have seen some people, I just want to go into Fang or Mang or some big tech company, and they simply reject the offer from small companies or startups. Don't do that. Like, you can always get into Fang or Mang later on, or big tech company, or whatever your dream company is. You can always do that later on. Like, if I take my example, it took me 10 years to get into Google. But that was not my goal. My goal was to get a job. My goal was to pay bills for my family, to survive in a foreign country so that I could do whatever I want to do with the money that I get, right? And the role has to be something that could give me a future visibility. And you can always move to another role, you can always move to another companies by gaining more experience, by gaining more knowledge, by upgrading your skill set and so on, right? So that's what I would suggest. Keep trying and don't get demotivated with all the rejections you are getting. There'll be some company that will hire you. There'll be there'll always be a good place and a good time. And on that day is when you get your offer. So don't worry about it. The next question is, you said you want to move to a DevOps because I don't like coding. So first of all, this is not the correct approach. Even if you are working in DevOps, you still will be doing coding. I hate to say this, but I don't know why people are spreading this myth that DevOps engineer don't do coding. Yes, DevOps engineer also do coding. It just we or any DevOps engineer, they don't do the application development. Okay, so there are different aspects of coding. One is you do coding, which is also referred to as scripting if you are automating some manual task. So that's the main part of the DevOps role. So you use different tools or you use scripting language such as Python, Bash, Golang to automate your manual tasks. So that's one part. The other part also is that you use tools such as Terraform, you use CI/CD tools such as GitLab or Azure DevOps, right? So you use YAML in that. So you still are writing code. You are using Terraform. Terraform is HCL language. So you still are writing Terraform files. So there is the coding involved in that. You still are writing Prometheus configs, Kubernetes manifest, Docker file, or Argo CD manifest. So all these are part of coding that you will be doing as DevOps. So I'm sure now you are getting the difference between what coding an application developer, a software developer do, or what coding a DevOps engineer do. But still, you will be doing coding at some time. So it's better that you stop running away from it, and it's better you start learning it. Okay, pick one language. You don't have to work on multiple language. Go with either Python, but before that, get your hands-on good experience with Bash scripting. Then pick one programming language because you cannot do everything with just Bash, right? So pick one language, either Python or Golang, okay, and try to get some good proficiency in that. Try to automate some manual tasks that a DevOps engineer would do. Try to use that for CDK development, for example, right? For server writing serverless functions and so on. So it's good that if you make your peace with it, and if you know that in the beginning that yes, coding will be required, and stop running away from it. It's okay. It's just one of those fears of I will not be able to work on it. It's just a fear, nothing else. So try to get over your fear, and the only way to get over your fear is by facing it. Okay, so that's what I would suggest. Okay, so Yusuf, is there a project on channel covering Argo CD workflow and rollout? Yes, there is a project, as I've mentioned before, in 10 weeks of cloud ops. Let me show you this. Go to playlists, and then we have different playlists over here. So 10 weeks of cloud ops, view full playlist. And as I have said, project number 4, GitOps Argo CD complete hands-on project. So this is the one that you're needing. Okay. Yes, the more you teach, the more you learn. Definitely. That's my goal. That's my aim. That's what I do. What do you think about getting a Linux cert for helping getting a job, LFCS or Red Hat cert? Yeah, it's good. Like Red Hat certifications are good. So any certification that tests you on your implementation knowledge, real hands-on experience is a good addition. It just sometimes these certifications are costly. So it depends on your goal, and if you are able to afford it, yes, go for it. But I would say, if you are someone who has started learning Linux or don't have a lot of working experience with Linux, yes, you can go with the Red Hat certifications. That's good too. Abhishek, regarding arcade games, Abhishek, sorry, what's your question? Can you please elaborate? Hello, Eddie. Hello, Teddy. Welcome to the stream. Red goes, I just a program, or maybe he's trying to say I just attended a program that taught AWS system operation. I found myself liking solution architect and DevOps because of the coding, but don't know where to start. Any suggestion? Okay. So what I would suggest is, first of all, there is a myth. I also has faced this situation where when I did AWS certified solution architect certification, I thought I can now apply for the role as a solution architect, but that's not true. AWS certified solution architect is the associate level certification that is for someone who's new to cloud or someone with at least an year of experience working with AWS, right? And this role does not make you qualified to apply for the roles such as solution architect, because solution architect is one of the roles that require a lot of expertise, that requires a lot of knowledge about all the services within AWS or any cloud for that matter of fact, right? So if you have just gotten yourself certified and you have started applying for the solution architect role, make sure you have enough knowledge and experience. It's not just knowledge, they also look for experience. At least 5 to 7 years of experience you should have before even be eligible for that role, and it requires 10 plus years of experience many a times. So that's one thing. For the coding part, I have already explained. um, DevOps engineer role does require coding, and the difference I have already explained. So I guess you can go through that. Can you please publish of a video about liveliness and readiness? I guess it's been published already. So let me check. Liveliness props. Yeah, props video has been published. So if we go to the playlist, it's video number health props. Okay, video number 18. So check it out. It's already there. My question is, I'm planning to take CKA exam in the near future. From the experience, what you advise me during the, so what I would advise, do the uh, do the hands-on given in the all the videos. Plus, in every video, as I have mentioned before, in the resources, in every video, let's say if I take this video, 7 video, okay, in that there'll be a file called task.md. In that there are some tasks that you have to implement by yourself, and there are some tasks that are generic, like implement whatever you have learned in the video, that's the task. But in some videos there are tasks that is something other than what you have learned in the video. For example, this: create a new replica set based on nginx image with 3 replicas, update the replicas to 4 from the YAML, update the replicas to 6 from the command line, and then there'll be a task for deployment with all the details that is given. So make sure you complete all the tasks given in each of these folders that we have published. Okay, and that is good enough. um I recently gave last week I gave CK certification just to test my knowledge and just to make sure that you know uh, I have covered everything in the series for the CK exam perspective, and yes, I was able to clear the exam. So from that, from my recent exam experience, I will create another video, which will be the last video of this series. And in that video, I will share all the tips and tricks. So make sure you watch that video as well. I will share all the tips and tricks, um, ways using which you can save some time in the exam, um, some things that you need to keep in mind before going to the exam, and so on. So I will share all the details. Can you share one of your experience with troubleshooting Kubernetes in production? It's hard to share that. I do that literally every day. So I work with Google. I work with GKE and Anthos, which is based on Kubernetes, which is managed Kubernetes services provided by Google Cloud. And my main job is to troubleshoot production issues and help the Google Cloud enterprise customers and fixing their issues on a daily basis. So picking out just one example, it's really hard. And Experience, what I would say is, when you are troubleshooting issues, most of the times you don't have all the access. Like, for example, I work for Google. The only access I have is the read only access on the customer environment, and that just the logging part and UI. I cannot check the logs from their kubectl commands. I cannot run any kubectl command. That means I don't have access to their API server. I don't have access to make calls to their API server. So in that case, you have to rely on what you got. You have to rely on different monitoring alerting tools. You have to rely on logs. So the major part of Kubernetes troubleshooting is, let's say if there is an application failure, you should know what all commands you will be running to troubleshoot the application first. For example, kubectl logs command, kubectl describe command on that particular workload. um, you need to check what is the error you are getting, what are the events that you are getting. Based on that, you map it with your cluster's current situation. So you have to then check all the control plane components, control plane logs, and so on. So there are different, maybe I'll create an end-to-end video of troubleshooting. Okay, so this CK series has couple of videos from CK exam perspective. It's not really in-depth production grade troubleshooting, but it's basically, let me show you where it is. Okay, so if we go to CK 2024, and at the very end of this series, we have okay, troubleshoot application failures. That's one video. Troubleshoot cluster component failure, troubleshoot networking and worker node failures. So yeah, so these three videos are mostly focusing on Kubernetes troubleshooting, and along with that, yes, monitoring, logging, alerting, how you can check monitoring and logging, and all different aspects are covered in that. And then rest all are the administrative tasks that we'll be doing. So yeah, so that's what you can look for. Yeah, we are almost on the top of the hour. So I'm just gonna wind the session quickly. I have learned so many things from you. I really appreciate it. Do you have any recommendation on videos or any person? I am from known IT, from USA, Washington DC. So Rana, first of all, thank you so much for the appreciation. So can you provide more details on what type of recommendations are you looking? Like, is it for particular technology, particular skill, particular tool? So let me know, and then I can provide more details. Yusuf, yes, Yusuf. Project number 4 was about GitOps, Argo CD, CI/CD. And I'm okay. So you are asking about AZ400. Yes. So AZ400 I found a little tougher than AZ900 or 104, whatever. Yes, it is, because it just does not test you on Azure DevOps. AZ400 is DevOps plus Azure DevOps. So you will be asked questions about different DevOps terminologies like Git branching, Git flow. It includes GitHub actions and deployment strategies, many other things. So for the part that covers Azure DevOps, you can follow my playlist, Azure DevOps Zero to Hero. It covers everything. And rest, you can just check out Microsoft Learn website, and the topics that are not covered in the series, you can go through that from the Microsoft Learn website itself. It's a free resource. Subscribe to Google Skill Boost and AWS Skill Boost email. They will send you vouchers regularly. Yes, Guru, that's they will send you the details about how you can get the vouchers. And you can subscribe to my channel, because I am mostly the first one who publish videos for any free certification voucher. Currently there is certification voucher program going on for it's 21st July today, I guess. It's about to end, or it's almost ended. So check out the video on my channel which says free Google Cloud certification, and you can apply for it if it's not too late. How we can get job as a fresher? So Preet, we have discussed this multiple times. So maybe once we publish this stream, you can watch the videos, earlier video. And uh, Guru also shared some suggestions, so you can go through those as well, please. um, the next video to be posted is SSL with Kubernetes. Yes, Hamid. The next video is SSL with Kubernetes. That is already scheduled for Monday. What do people mean when they say they build a network? How to build this professional network? Okay, so it's like, you join certain communities. Like we have a Discord server, so you join certain communities, try to help others, try to get guidance from others. If you are facing some issue, ask for help. You get on a one-on-one call with them, or try to join their group calls whenever it is happening, and that's how you build the network, right? Plus you share your learning in public, you share your progress, you whatever you have learned, or if there is an artifact that you can produce, like a blog, a video, a tutorial, anything that could help someone, right? So that will also help you build a professional network, but we'll talk more about that sometime later. So I guess, okay, so Preet is saying I got selected for get certified GCP program by GCP. So yes, Supreet, so yes, everyone. So this is the video that I was talking about. Check out the Google Cloud certification video on my channel. It was published, I guess, last month. So after applying, if you get selected, you will be placed in a cohort based program, like a 12-week learning program. They'll be providing you instructor led training session, so free learning, free training by Google instructors, and um, then you'll get a certification voucher. So try to make use of it. It ended on 17 July. Sorry about that. And but thank you for sharing. And this is like there is no point of getting disappointed, because it is a quarterly program. So it is ended for this quarter, but in next quarter they will start it again. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. I will be publishing the video as soon as the next cohort is live. Okay, Yusuf is also a current ACE cohort. ACE is Associate Cloud Engineer, a GCP certification, so that you can do that. Okay, Sid is really appreciate your efforts. What are some good sites and repository which you follow for upskilling your Kubernetes? So I don't follow a lot of sites or repos for upskilling into Kubernetes, because I have been working with Kubernetes as part of my day-to-day job, right? So I get almost all the learnings by working in that environment. I'm working on live production issues, right? So, and but other than that, like, it's not always enough. Other than that, what I do is I read engineering blogs. Like, there are many blogs by big tech companies, and you can learn that and understand how they have implemented something. For example, there was a recent video in Arpit Bhayani's channel, if you know, a No Fluff Engineering channel by Arpit Bhayani. So he brought something from Netflix, and who explained how they were able to scale to that million user during a particular spike. I guess it was from Netflix or Hotstar, something like that. Some video streaming platform. I guess it was Hotstar. So you can check that out, and you can follow certain engineering blocks, and it will give you a good advanced level knowledge on how actually it works in a production system, how actually it works at scale for a large enterprise. Okay, so I'm hoping this session was valuable, and I'm tired now. I'm hungry. I have to rush for breakfast, lunch, whatever is there. So I'm gonna go that. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you for your inputs, your feedbacks, and I will see you soon with the live stream next weekend, hopefully around the same time. And yes, as always, you will be seeing 4 videos for CK series this week, Monday to Thursday at 6 a.m. EST, which will be 3:30 p.m. IST. So make sure you follow that, and make sure you reach out to us if you face any issues on the comment section, on YouTube comments, Discord server, and any way possible, and we'll try to help you. Check out our website, thecloudopscommunity.org, and share your feedback on that as well. Cool. Thank you so much. And that's it. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.